Hey there, this is Edward Stinga, founder of the Explainer Company, and welcome to our Explainer Scriptwriting Masterclass. Today you'll learn how to write effective video scripts that get people to take action. And trust me, after going through this free YouTube video masterclass, you'll start seeing the same patterns and structure everywhere around you, from Fortune 500 videos to TV commercials on your local network. I've been writing video copy and making all kinds of videos for the past 10 years now, ranging from explainer and animated sales videos for clients all over the world to TV commercials, crowdfunding videos, and short films. And during this time, the videos that we made for our clients have ended up generating tens of millions of dollars for them, either as revenue or funding from investors. In the process, we learned many things about this, and we came up with amazing concepts or research things that have been tested and proven to work time and time again. I did my best to put all this knowledge that I have about this topic in this short masterclass and to make it as actionable as possible, so that after you finish watching this, you can go out there and start writing your own script, or if you're already doing that, you can go out there and improve your existing or future scripts tremendously, which improves your conversions, which ultimately adds more dollars to your bottom line. Video is known to be able to improve conversions up to even 300% in some cases. But even if you improve your conversions by 10 or 20%, that's still a lot. Just think about what that means if you're driving thousands and thousands of visitors to your offers. Or another great thing that video can help you with is we have many clients that use our videos to raise funds directly from investors or on crowdfunding platforms, anywhere from $250,000 all the way to $5 million in funding. If you're already here, I'm sure you don't need me to highlight the importance of video and how many great things you can do with it. So without further ado, let's get straight to it. The importance of a story. As the famous saying goes, if a tree falls in a forest and nobody's there, does it make a sound? The answer is, who cares? If nobody understands what your product or service is all about and how it can help them, no one will even notice you. You have this itch, this urge, this desire to share your product or idea with the world. I get it. I know how fulfilling it is to see your own product, idea, or service, something that you have created, out there in the real world, where real people are using it and real people find it valuable. The problem is, we all want that feeling. But when a lot of people want to impose their product, service, or ideas onto others, well, the problem becomes obvious. We really just don't have the attention to pay. Sometimes the here and now reality feels like another app competing for our limited mental RAM. Even though you have the best marketing or have millions of people click on your website, if you can't pitch your product in such a way that it evokes emotions, triggers their interest, and leaves them wanting more, they'll simply click away. Off to your competitor. Bye-bye, potential customer. The thing not to forget is, every day we are bombarded with information and sources trying to get our attention. We might forget this when we work on our business or startup, but when we step out of this bubble, we notice it quite clearly. Emails, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, text messages, WhatsApp, phone calls, colleagues or clients demanding your attention. It's so easy to get distracted. But what's interesting to notice is that some things do get our attention. Think about it. On websites or in your social media feed, videos that are short and catchy get our attention. Not the long, boring ones. The videos that we personally relate to are the videos that we find attractive. They talk about a problem we have or a specific situation we find ourselves in. Today, the laws of attention rule, and they state that when there's so much competing for our attention, we tend to go to the source that engages us and our emotions and that makes us listen. What you put out there matters, but what matters more is that the content is relevant to what people experience in that moment in time. Because we pay attention to the things that are relevant to us. In simple terms, content is king, but context is queen, and they go hand in hand. Videos that are long, boring, and poorly produced often instantly give us a feeling of that's not worth our time and attention, or what an amateur. When it's about you, we click away. So think about it. When you're about to invest time and money into a video, you want one that actually works. Your investment should not be wasted by producing a video that looks rubbish and goes nowhere. What makes a great script? Let's be clear. There are a lot of different kinds of videos: documentaries, movies, television, commercials, crowdfunding videos, YouTube videos, Instagram Reels, TikTok videos, Snapchat, you name it. They all have their own strengths, benefits, and their own way of telling a story. And just to remove any confusion, we are talking about explainer or sales videos here. You know, those small 1 to 2 minute videos with cute animations or professionally looking motion graphics. They can even be live action sometimes, or a mix of everything combined. And the main purpose is to get people's attention, tell your story, trigger their emotions, and activate them to take action quickly. And when we realize that this is the main purpose of explainer videos, there are a few points that can really make a difference between having a video that just sits there collecting dust and one that actually leads viewers through a process and engages them. And when you know what those are, you will see that those techniques are not just for explainer videos, but are incredibly relevant to a lot of other situations. Pretty much every time you want to positively influence someone, this will be the strategy to fall back on. It's what we use on our websites, in our email copy, in presentations, and of course, in explainer videos. These principles have stood the test of time, and quite possibly you already use some of them in real life, but we fail to see that the same rules apply when making an online video. Number 1, it's all about the viewer. Whatever industry you're in, people trust people. We are social creatures that find enjoyment and fulfillment from working and collaborating with others. We buy from people we trust, people that make us feel seen and understood, people that give us a great feeling while actually solving our problems. Now, when we think of an explainer video, we tend to think that completely different rules apply. However, although the medium of delivery and interaction is different, video to person rather than person to person, connecting with your audience through video is pretty similar to selling in person. From now on, see your explainer videos as a virtual salesman, pitching your idea or product to your viewer, always in the correct way, even when you're asleep. Of course, video-to-person selling is different in a few ways, for which we will compensate with a couple of elements in the script. For example, asking questions to find out what the client or customer wants or needs is hard when you use a fixed video, but we can focus our video on specific problems and situations. This might not speak to all of your viewers, but it makes those that do fall under that category feel understood. And those are the ones you want. A video speaks through the screen to the viewer, and because it establishes a connection this way, it has to actually talk to the viewer. Nobody likes a completely faceless corporation or small business that says, we can do this, and we have done this, and so many times that our solutions are the best. People aren't selfish in everything they do, only doing things for their own benefits, but they do feel more engaged when they are being talked to. They tend to listen in the what's in it for me mode. This personalization is established in 2 ways. The first one is you talk in an informal way, and your industry determines how far you can go. If you explained your pitch or product to a friend, how would you do it? Try it. How would you actually tell your story to a friend? How would you make them relate to what you're saying? You will find that there are a couple of things that you are doing different than when you're writing a formal presentation. You use more filler words like right and so, and a more casual use of language. That's also what you should use in your video, to a certain extent, of course. Remember, an explainer video is not a press release. It's a way of connecting with your audience. So connect and don't bore them with pretentious talk. And second, you talk about them, not about you. In a conversation with a friend, do you only talk about yourself? Probably not. One of the big mistakes I see companies make is that they produce videos and often pretty good videos where they only talk about themselves. What they've gone through, what they're selling, what their prices are, how they work, what cool features their products have, but nothing about the viewer. Not a single thing. Now, there's a time and a place for everything, and it might be great for a stakeholders meeting, but even then, it should take into account the wants and needs of the audience. It's not something you should do to connect with a potential client. You want to enter their world, understand where they're coming from, and make them feel understood, and then tell your story, the solution to all their problems, frustrations, and obstacles, in their words, through their worldview. In one of his talks, French philosopher Alain de Botton said, "At the heart of successful entrepreneurship is an accurate insight into the causes of human unhappiness. To be an entrepreneur means essentially to become an expert in the things that make life difficult for people." This is profound. Be an expert in the things that make your audience's lives difficult. What does an expert do? They know everything about a set of problems, who has them, when they occur, and how to solve them. He knows the ins and outs, and he knows the details. Be an expert. Talk about the difficulties your target audience experiences and the impact those difficulties have on their personal lives and their business lives. Talk about the lives of your potential clients, because then they will listen. A problem rarely ends with a problem. There's pretty much always a bigger problem or a need to be fulfilled. Talk about it. Wouldn't you pay attention if someone would narrate exactly what it is that you're going through in your life? Wouldn't that feel like the person knew you, even just a little bit? Number 2, we are emotional beings. Human beings are emotional creatures. Often we do things for emotional reasons and later justify them with rationalizations. Think about it. You or your girlfriend went out shopping and came back with 3 pairs of new shoes. Did you or her really need new shoes? Probably not. But the entire experience of going out and trying different shoes gave her a feeling of novelty, of exciting variety. It gave her a feeling of significance, looking beautiful in new shoes. And besides that, it probably also gave her a feeling of connection and bonding when other people were involved, for example, friends. And the same thing is true for videos. When a viewer thinks your product or service will give him or her certainty, significance, connection, an alleviation of pain, and a gain of pleasure, he or she will most likely rationalize that they actually need it. So your product or service doesn't even need to be the best, but of course that's what you should strive for. It's all about how you market it. What core emotions do your clients experience when they use your product, service, idea, or initiative? Anthony Robbins, who's a peak performance coach of American presidents, Mother Teresa, world-famous actors, and top athletes, identified that the 6 core human needs every human seeks to fulfill: certainty, variety, connection, significance, growth, and contribution. We all have different and often multiple ways of fulfilling these needs, and your product or service fulfills one or more for your clients as well. Maybe your product or service gives clients the peace of mind to continue their services. In that case, it provides certainty. Maybe your service delivers food to clients all around town. In that way, it provides a sense of variety, possibly even of significance when you can show off to your friends. Does your product allow others to grow their businesses? If so, then it might be the case that they are coming to you for a way to feel significant because they can reach more people, or growth, or contribution, or for a mix of reasons. You see, every individual customer is different, but they all have common underlying drivers. Let's be honest, you don't buy insurance because you want to spice up your life. If you are in business, and if you're watching this, you probably are, then fundamentally you're in the business of selling feelings and emotions. You sell peace of mind, a way of connecting, feelings of excitement from a new experience. You get the point. Research your target audience like a detective and use your findings in writing your script. By understanding the core emotional reasons of why people buy from you, you can talk to these emotional needs. What's even more interesting, Robbins found that when something or someone fulfills 4 or more of our needs, we become addicted to it. Isn't that fascinating? So when your product or services, for example, give people certainty, the variety, the significance and connection, they will quite possibly come back. Structure of a story that sells. So how do we make all this practical? How do we create a script that we can use as a foundation of a video that actually talks to the viewer, about the viewer, and triggers their emotions? If you pay close attention to the best videos out there, the ones that not only look beautiful but actually spark engagement and action, you'll see a common pattern appear. A structure that we can use to tell our story in a convincing way. Step 1, identification or attention grabber. First of all, at the start of a video, we want to get the viewer's attention. We don't have to be outrageously loud or annoying, we simply have to trigger their interest in learning more about your company and product and watch more of the video. And this could be a description of a situation that sounds very familiar to the viewer, a bold problem, or a fact that is undeniable or something that surprises us. For example, stating that something is the exact opposite of what our common sense tells us. Answer this question to yourself. If you are searching for a product like yours, what would grab your attention? For example, we made a video recently for a company selling a software to a demographic that wasn't very good with computers, and all the available offers on the market were just very, very complex. So the way we started the video was, feeling confused and overwhelmed with technology. That's it. That's all it takes to grab their attention and make them keep watching. Step number 2, problem, frustration, or obstacle. Often, the video starts with a line or a couple of lines that mix both the identification part with the problem part. We might say, the office was the workplace of the 20th century, but in the internet era, the office is replaced by online platforms where work is done by individuals who work where, when, and for whoever they want. This instantly captures the essence of the problem. How we work is changing rapidly. Companies that experience this will say, yes, that's me, that's my problem. That's the internal reaction we want to trigger. That's me, or that's exactly what I'm going through. Step number 3 is also the problem, frustration, and obstacles, but with competitors in the status quo. So the usual way of doing business. And this looks similar to number 2, but is slightly different. When a problem is stated, subtle or not so subtle, a solution is not fulfilling if there are already a lot of solutions out there. And by addressing the status quo, the way the viewer might deal with the problem right now, we can differentiate you from all the other solutions out there. Because their solution isn't good enough. For example, a weight loss product. You probably tried all the diets in the world and you still couldn't lose weight. But what if there was a simple solution where you didn't have to count calories or stay away from your favorite foods? Step number 4, the magical instant solution. All human beings want the shortcut. We all want the instant solution. But of course, life is not that black and white, and the devil is in the details. One product or service will probably not solve all the problems. But if you want to see your product or idea out there actually being used, it's important that you stand out and make yourself count. And to do that, it's important to know that people are guided by a lot of cognitive fallacies, flaws in our reasoning and patterns of thinking that are not based on reason, but on other deep and ingrained emotions like fear or the need for security. So one of the things that people fall for, and I still do, is the cognitive fallacy of polarized thinking. In other words, we place things or people in either or categories, with no shades of gray, allowing for the complexity of most situations and persons. It's our certainty bias. When we introduce the company or product, we want it to sound like the actual solution to their problems, not the maybe this will work solution. Because working with you is the simple, magical solution. Step number 5, how to, reaffirming the easiness. People want to know how things are done. They want to understand what you will do for them. So tell them. Lead them by the hand through your process. And as human beings, we chunk things often in threes, meaning we tend to think 1 to 3, too many. So if you're explaining a process, try to chunk it down to 3 steps or phases. And you might think, but what we do is much more complex than 3 steps. Still, try to think from the perspective of the viewer. They don't want to watch a video of 15 minutes and hear about all the exact details, because a lot of them are still deciding if you're the right match out there. If what you do is complex, then do something like number 1, we'll come over for coffee and dig deep into what you need. Number 2, we'll craft a detailed proposal outlining everything from timeline to a breakdown of the cost, so everything is crystal clear before we even start. And number 3, we get to work and update you every step of the way. The how-to is intended to reaffirm the easiness that you will bring to their life. Don't make it complex, make it easy. Step number 6, benefits, not features. People want to know what's in it for them. They don't necessarily care about the features. They care about the benefits those features have for them. So it's great that your solution solves their problem 25% quicker than the competitor. But the viewer cares about what this allows them to have, which is more time to do other important tasks, which is spend time with their kids or on the couch with their partner. More freedom to do what they want. Again, this is the moment to truly go deep into the core human needs. How can you frame the benefits of your product or service in such a way that it addresses the core human needs that your audience seeks to fulfill? So you can think of features as the technical feature of your product and the benefit as the emotional implication or result or consequence of the said feature. Because we buy things for emotional reasons, not for rational reasons. Step 7, credibility. Here we give the answer to the question, who are you to say that? Because we all tend to follow authorities. We trust the advice of the doctor because, well, he's the doctor. We trust the advice of a lawyer because he's a lawyer. We trust the company that's serving the royal family because they are serving the royal family. So, how can we make a product or company seem like an authority? By displaying things that prove your credibility. Logos of well-known clients, the number of people you already served, overwhelmingly positive testimonials, awards you received, the credits of the founders and the team, and so on. One of the things that will give you credibility as well is by giving out a guarantee. For example, get your first month for free, or we'll give you your money back if you don't increase your web traffic with 100% or more. Step number 8 is the call to action. When people know that you're talking to them, that you can solve their problems, that you will make it easy for them, and that it will fulfill their emotional needs, it's time for action. Realize that people often don't buy a product right away when they see it, unless it's very cheap or they were looking for something like it for ages. Most people have a mild interest or are just shopping around, so a heavy call to action like buy now will not actually attract them. Just like closing a sale in real life, relationships need to be built, and a video is a first interaction. When you invite them to test something out, read further, or download a free analysis, it will make them trust you more. Because you're not instantly trying to sell them, you're just providing value. And it's important to make the call to action specific though. Want to invite them to learn more about what you can do? Say something like, download our free case study, or watch our portfolio of happy clients. Another thing that often works is to remind people why it's important to act now. Why should they do something now instead of a year from now? Scarcity and urgency are two powerful things to add to your call to action. We all tend to value something that is scarce and act quicker when something is urgent and important. Step-by-step structure. So just as a recap, we'll also do a step-by-step structure that you'll also be able to download somewhere in this page so you can easily follow yourself and just fill in the gaps. Step number 1, identification or attention grabber. What sentence would instantly grab the attention of your audience? A big problem they have or a situation they recognize all too well. Step number 2, problem, frustration, or obstacle. What's causing unhappiness in the lives of your prospective clients? What are their frustrations, their problems, the obstacles they experience? Step number 3 is the problem, frustration, or obstacle with competitors or the status quo, so basically the usual way of doing business. What things are wrong with the status quo, the usual way of doing this and fixing the problem? Why is it time for a new way to approach the problem? And please note, this doesn't have to be a revolutionary startup idea. It can also be a more reliable solution or a better customer service. Step 4, the magical, easy, instant solution. How do you introduce your company so that it's the easiest solution? Even if it's a complex solution, how is yours still the easiest? Step number 5, how to. Reaffirming the easiness. How does your product, service, or process work? What 3 steps will the viewer experience? Step number 6, benefits, not features. What's in it for them? What human needs does your product or service fulfill? Step number 7, credibility. Why should your viewers listen to you? And how can you tell them that in a subtle way? Step number 8, the call to action. What action would you like your viewers to take? And take into account that people often need more than one point of contact before they buy. So a more subtle call to action that would invite them in even more could do and work better. The audio-video balance. So we've laid out a structure that you could use to write a killer video script. These are the psychological principles and techniques that Fortune 500 companies use to create online commercials and videos. It's important to notice, however, that the story is not only told with the voiceover and text, although it's a crucial element. Visuals play an important role in this as well, obviously. And the rule of thumb is to make visuals not just beautiful, but actually effective, is that they have to convey the exact same things as the voiceover. So when you're looking for an explainer company or are designing the visuals yourself, it's important to take a moment and reflect on a couple of points. Which visuals will connect most with your audience? Which situations and jokes will appeal to them? Which visual details illustrate their pain and problems the best? How can you convey a sense of credibility with your visuals? And here's a tip. You can show the thousands of clients that went before them, show the logos of the big shot companies you've served, or quick testimonials of clients. You get the point. You can basically go through the same structure but then apply it to the visuals. And there's nothing worse than having a video with a well-crafted story and script but with crappy visuals. Alright, so in conclusion, that's pretty much it for this masterclass. You should now have everything you need to write amazing video scripts and make them better than pretty much most people out there. All you need to do is follow the structure and basically fill in the gaps. And one thing I want to mention though is that you should take it easy and take it slow. It's a process. You're not going to write the perfect script on the first try. Write a first draft, sleep over it, and take a fresh look tomorrow and see what you can improve. And you can also give it to your close friend, for example, to read and see if he or she gets the point or see if you're missing something. And one good thing is to just read it out loud for yourself and see if it sounds right. Because many times we write very different than the way we speak. And also, please keep in mind that this is just a guideline. Every situation is different and unique. And if your common sense tells you that you should do something different, then by all means, go for it and break the rules. Alright, this was Eduard Stinga, founder of the Explainer Company. I hope you enjoyed watching this and that you've learned a lot of new things. Now it's time to go out there and make amazing videos. And if you want us to help you with an awesome script or even an awesome explainer video for your company to stand out from all the noise, produced by a professional and experienced team with over 10 plus years in the industry and more than 400 plus videos produced for clients all over the world, then visit our website, check out our portfolio, and get in touch, link in the description. That's all for today, and until next time, stay creative.